Konami Studios.
Okay. I don't know what to say. You know, I don't know. This book is just something that makes me frustrated, and I'm starting to contemplate, should I even keep reading it if I know I'm gonna be disappointed, or should I even review it if it's just gonna mean talking about the same stuff over and over again that I don't like? I don't know. We'll see, I guess, how the numbers do. Batman Catwoman, issue number 3. Another painfully dreadful, just, I don't understand how Tom King can get everything else right except Batman. I don't get it. I literally think every other book he's worked on, every other character he's written has somehow felt right, but this book has just been so painfully slow and dull and hard to understand and all over the place. And let's get the caveat out of the way. I don't want to talk about Clayman's art just because it's perfect. We know it's perfect. It looks gorgeous in every scene, but it is bogged down by so much of this stupid writing from Tom King that it's actually very painful to read. I don't understand. I keep saying painful just because it's just so much. So, like always, let's try to get through this with a positive note. Chapter 3, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Shut the up already. I don't care for this trope and it's kind of bothering me. Welcome to the future Gotham. Commissioner Dick Grayson, which is like one of the best parts of this book if you ask me, is standing next to the bat signal of Helena Wayne, and she is the new Batwoman, supposedly. And they're talking about a body that was found in Florida that looks like the Joker. Good to know things are still happening. That's fun to see. The opening of this book, the only part I really liked, honestly, because I like seeing Dick Grayson becoming the commissioner, because of course he would. That's exactly who Dick would become. He's a Commissioner Gordon fan. That's the person he would be. And Helena looks pretty good in her suit. Everything else in this book is just kind of dreadful. I don't know. So we get some footage of the Cat in the Bat looking at a screen where Joker's terrorizing some people. Then we cut back to later where Selina is beating up the Joker. He's like, I can't believe you killed the reindeer, something like that. It's Christmas. Don't forget it's Christmas, guys. I actually don't know what's going on half the time. And that maybe because I'm an idiot. It could be because I'm an idiot and I can't understand how this book flows, but I think it's just because it jumps around so much with no explanation that it's just painfully boring the way it executes itself. So she's like, Selina and Joker have their little argument. We cut back to the future where Helena's talking to Selina. It's like, they found a body in Florida. It's probably the Joker. It's kind of coincidental that he died around the same time Dad died. And, Selina's like, oh, well, probably. That's just how weird how things work. This old Selina is just kind of like bitter and kind of resentful, just everything. I don't know. It's just such a weird feeling, this Selina. She's just kind of being a dick about everything. It's like, I struggled to survive. And when I did, I became the richest woman in the world because I married a bat. And you're like, that's great. So then we cut to a scene with Batman and Joker in an undisclosed timeline. We'll call it the present day. And the Joker's locked up, and Batman's like, this guy named Paul Freshman died. And they're like, who is this? Oh, he's one of the people that used to work for you. He was killed and sliced up by the Phantasm. And you know what? I'm done. Batman just straight up says, I'm done. I'm letting you out. Okay, if she wants you, she can kill you. I don't give a shit. I'm done with you. Just let it all happen. And Joker's like, oh, that's such bullshit, man. You are not going to let me die. You're way too nice to kill me. And then we cut to the past, supposedly. The past where Selina and Bruce are hooking up, looking all sexy in bed. None of them are wearing enough clothes for you to be like, oh, this is adult. It's like, yay, fun. The first issue I found to be very sexy. This sex scene, I called a sex scene loosely. This romantic scene is kind of more like showing the vulnerability between the two, which I think is kind of cool to see. Bruce is trying to be like the heroic, manly guy, is like always being the good guy and trying to protect his girl, but she's like, come on, man, I don't need your protection, and I don't, so stop trying to be the nice guy and just do me. And so they do it, and we cut to Helena, who is just like talking to her mom, like, yeah, it's the Joker, he's dead. What are we going to do now? Investigate the murder. Dick's going to investigate the murder because it's still a murder, technically. And Selina's like, you sound just like your dad. It's still a murder. It's the Joker, kid. Let him die. Who cares at this point? But I don't know if Helena knows that her mother was responsible. She probably does. Like, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if she figured it out. Just something like that makes sense to me. I don't know. Man. This whole book is such a weird feeling thing. And do you think it would flow better if they did it in chronological timeline? Like, maybe if we dedicated, like, because it's 12 issues, right? If 3 issues were in the past, or no, 4 issues were in the past, 4 issues in the present, and 4 issues in the future, would it flow better that way? I don't know. I think maybe. Does any of it matter? Because what does the Phantasm stuff have to do with the death of the Joker in the future? Like, we could have done a 6-issue mini about the Phantasm. That might have been a little cooler. Because in the present day, the Phantasm comes to attack Selina, and we get a couple pages of the two of them fighting, you know? 2 very important girls from the Batman animated series universe having a deuce and, you know, fighting each other. It looks great. It looks great. That's because Tom King didn't touch that, probably. He's like, just make them fight. Okay, there you go. They're fighting. Looks great. Thanks for that. They fall out the window. We see Bruce's and Derica's. Matches Malone is about to do something and figure out some info. Like, who cares? This book is very frustrating. I'm just so annoyed by it if it isn't obvious. So kind of the more ducktail end of the book here, Selina is breaking into his safe, getting these jewels, and we see that she's talking to this mysterious figure that we all know is the Joker. And it's just a lot of basic dialogue, you know, about their relationship and the stuff with the bat and how, like, what does it mean to be good and what does it mean to be bad, and how Selina's kind of like becoming the good guy and Joker's calling her out for it. Like, you know, are you the Catwoman or are you the Batman, and that kind of stuff. And it's cute, I guess. Who cares, man? At this point in the book, like these last 3 pages, where we got like 22 pages of this book and we got 2 pages dedicated to this frickin' conversation. I'm like, at this point, you really don't have my interest, because this is before, I think this is before the beginning of the book, and it's like, oh my goodness. You're really doing something here. I don't understand how this book works, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's so frustrating. So we end the book with a final scene where Helena and like Dick were checking the apartment. There was no clues found as to who killed him, and he just ends the book with Selina and Helena looking at each other and the words, "It was clean." Because who would have killed the Joker? We don't know, but it's so obviously Selina. Yep. That's the book. Did you guys get any of that? Is any of this worth it? What the hell is with the Phantasm stuff? You could tell a story about like the Joker and Selina relationship and completely cut out the Phantasm stuff. You could just solely focus on the Phantasm stuff. This doesn't even need to be a Batman book because Batman's not in the book. You're trying to sell it. I get that. But Catwoman could probably sell her own book if you're introducing the Phantasm and Helena Wayne in the same book. It would work just as fine if it didn't have Batman in it at all. I can't with this, man. It's so frustrating. It jumps around too much. It's so cliched in a lot of the stuff Tom King does. There's no real sentences. It's just people saying words very softly. Whatever's up with this Christmas aesthetic is so annoying, and you can barely tell the timeline except for when Selina's an old lady. It's very frustrating, and I don't know if I can recommend this, but Clayman's artwork is so gorgeous, so it's just kind of like, read it for the artwork. It might be the only thing holding you together for this being something solid. Everything else is just so painful. I can't recommend it. All I can say is maybe wait till a bunch of comic book reviewers do their big think pieces on it, or just watch these reviews and listen to me struggle to comprehend why Tom King doesn't understand Batman. Do you think he hates Batman? I think he does. You know, I was thinking about this the other day because I would love to write comic books. I'm thinking about these characters that somebody that you clearly love and admire, but you could probably never comprehend them in your own writing. To me, somebody like that would be I don't know if I could write Superman, just because that is such a weighty task, and I don't know if I'd do it justice, and I probably miss the important things that I think are important. So maybe that's what Tom King's doing here. Maybe he likes Batman so much he can't really think straight on how to do it. I don't know. Either way, issue 3, it's done. Helena Wayne looks cool. So Batman Catwoman issue number 3, I am going to give a 6 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.